Hi, it's Alicia from the Pretty Brown Eyed Reader. So today I am coming with a book review, and it is of Goat Castle by Karen L. Cox. And this is an audiobook that I've listened to for March Mystery Madness, and it tells the story of a true crime event that happened in 1932 in Natchez, Mississippi. And it was the killing of one of its residents, of Natchez residents, who was a well-to-do daughter of people who still had Confederate pre-Civil War money. And as often that happens in the South, some black people got accused of the crime when there was clear forensic evidence that there were white people involved. And the white people that were involved were an eccentric couple. They were known as the Wild Man and the Goat Woman, and they lived in Goat Castle. And the reason that their house was called Goat Castle is because they allowed goats and other animals to roam freely through the house, and the house was in a state of disrepair. The white participants in the murder, Dick Dana and Octavia Dockery, I'm sorry, I'm missing the names all up. Well, anyway, instead of doing any type of prison sentence for what they did, they were went on to basically sell this story of these once white aristocracy from the good old days of the South who had slowly declined and were getting accused of this murder, and they didn't have anything to do with it despite the evidence that they were there. Anyway, that's a whole nother issue. So Ms. Cox does a wonderful job in researching the book, and it's told in a way that anybody can understand it, especially if you're a history buff, true crime fan. All of it is wrapped together, as well as just the truth about the good old South. The way she writes the history is actually like a part of the story, talking about how the black citizens and the white citizens of Natchez lived, and how this all contributed to the investigation of the crime. To the sheriff's credit of I think it's Adams County in Mississippi at that time, he actually tried to get the white couple indicted 2 times, and which was surprising to me that he didn't accept that any of the he didn't believe that the black people that were indicted actually were the sole reason for this murder to occur. So which is something that I often have a problem with when you look at these crimes from 1932, but looking at it through a lens of 2019, some of the stuff that happened as far as forensic and investigating, I was like, you can't do that. But then I have to think it's 1932, and Jim Crow is very much alive at the time. And so when the murder supposedly occurs, the body gets moved from the house to out in the woods, and I'm thinking, why are you moving the body? You're putting all this evidence on yourselves. And I have to think, well, they didn't have DNA back in those days, and they probably, they couldn't do all the things forensically that detectives do today. And as far as like questioning, of course, the black people were terrorized and forced into confessions of their participation in the crime. And once again, there was fingerprint evidence that they were not even there, some of them that were accused. One of the things that occurred the first time that the white couple was indicted, taken to jail for the crime, the house was pilfered. Thousands of people came to Natchez just to view this home, this Goat Castle, and items were taken out of the house. So I thought it was interesting that the term was used, pilfered, but isn't that trespassing and theft? So the white people that make this journey to come and gawk at this situation could take things out of the house and not be held accountable for what they did but supposedly black people had to, and then you get termed as murderers just because you're on the property, and these other people can go through other people's property. And it's called a cute little word like pilfered. They stole, and they weren't the couple was in jail, so they weren't invited onto the property. That's trespassing. That just goes to show you the double standard of people like to say Jim Crow, but it could possibly still be that today. So if you're looking for a true crime novel that looks at this glorious thing of the South, definitely check out Goat Castle. It is a very interesting read. You probably would never think that people would have goats living in their house, but they did. Thanks for watching and have a great day.